I've got a message for you, and I've got a message for you now. I am tired.
Don't give me that. I'm tired of being sick and tired. Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I am tired of losing. I'm tired of losing, and I'm tired of guessing. I'm tired of guessing. Let me tell everybody something right now. No matter what the New York Jets do at quarterback this upcoming season, there is a monster element of guess at play. You bring back Zach. Well, hey, we fixed Zach. Okay, we sure about that? Oh, we got Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, well, is he going to be healthy? Oh, here's Derek Carr. Can he handle New York? By the way, what's he won? What in the world is the debate concerning Aaron Rodgers? There is none. What you do is you run to Green Bay or wherever his reps are. You go to Green Bay and you talk to the Packers front office and you sit down and you hammer out the parameters of a deal. And no matter what it takes, Aaron Rodgers must be a New York Jet. You got to pounce. You've got to be creative. You've got to coerce. You've got to do whatever you need to do to align the Jets with a real quarterback. Because I'll tell you something. This team's ready to win. And I'll tell you something else. The Richard Todds and the Pat Ryans and the Kenny O'Briens and the Brownie Nagels and the Jack Trudeaus and the Bubby Bristers and the Frank Reichs and the Neil O'Donnells and the Rick Meyers and the Brooks Bollingers and the Kellen Clemenses and the Greg McElroys and the Pettys and the Luke Falks and the Simeons and the Flaccos and all the other directions that haven't bore an ounce of fruit have wasted all of our times. For 30 years, 30, I have sat here waiting for the guy. And you're going to tell me, I don't know if we should give up a draft pick for Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is good enough. Are you out of your freaking mind? Aaron Rodgers won 4 MVPs. He is an all-time superstar icon. Well, he didn't play that well last year. He was 5 times better than the crap that the Jets trotted out. Well, he's a little bit old. So what? Get me Aaron Rodgers no matter what.
I will agree with one thing that you said. The New York Jets are ready and need to start winning. We said this yesterday, BT. The Jets just have to win, regardless of how they get it done. Even if it's Zach Wilson just miraculously figuring it out because he went to the Manning School of Excellence. He figures it out. They have to start winning. I agree with you that the best option is not on the team right now, Zach Wilson or Mike White, even though Mike White's a free agent. It is likely not Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr, but it's probably not him.
Hasn't won a damn thing. He cries at press conferences.
Jimmy Garoppolo is always injured.
Always hurt.
I love his locks. I love his hair. I love what he potentially could bring, but I also know what's likely going to happen. He's going to be unavailable for half the season. And Aaron Rodgers is probably the best option. Probably the best option. The only reservation I have is that Aaron Rodgers has been elite for almost 15 years. And by elite, I mean 45 touchdown passes, 39, 40, 48 couple years, 38. This year, and by the way, single-digit interceptions. There were some years where it felt like, man, is he going to throw an interception at all?
That's right.
This year? Well, last season, we saw a regression below the mean, a major regression below the mean. 26 touchdowns. Now, some of that's because he had new wide receivers and young wide receivers, a couple drops here and there. But 12 interceptions, and a lot of those interceptions happened in scoring position. So when Aaron Rodgers is usually at his best, because he had 48 touchdown passes and 39 touchdown passes in previous seasons and 40 another, led the league, he made mistakes. And is that him losing it, whatever that proverbial it is, or is it Aaron Rodgers just having a bad year? So I understand what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but there's a good chance that Aaron Rodgers might be going a little bit down the slope.
Great.
A little bit down the slope.
Put your skis on, and we'll find a way to slow down the descent. I'll take my chances with that. And this, you throw out the numbers. 2 years, all right, excluding last year, listen to this, 85 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in back-to-back MVP seasons. Listen, man, I mean, sometimes in life, you've got to take a swing. I mean, we've all been there, and I wound up marrying her, where you see somebody like, I've got to talk to her, okay? And if you don't conjure up the guts to do it, you'll never know what may have happened. You know, you got to take a swing. You must. This notion that, like, this is what I don't understand. This is where, and I love you, but this is where Jet fans, I can't stand you. Because you've never had anything good. You're afraid to take a chance. You'd almost rather stay on this carousel of averageness and mediocrity rather than taking a bigger swing, granted with a bigger risk of being hurt. And, of course, that bigger swing, we'll do this later. I'm not going to bog down the minutia, first-round pick. We'll do that later. This is just the overall premise. This is a real story. This is not, well, it's almost February and the Jets and the Giants are done and the Knicks aren't going to win anything and the Yankees and the Mets are still a month away from playing their first exhibition game. Let's make up a story. There's nothing going on. Let's throw a sports radio dart and maybe we'll get some calls on Aaron Rodgers. This is WFAN. We don't have to do that. And we will never do that. We will have conversations that are rooted in something that is real. He doesn't know if he wants to play there next year. They don't know if they want him back. He might be available. Now, I'll tell you this. You can't control what he thinks. You can't control what he does. But you can control how aggressively you pursue him. I want every bell and whistle. I trust Joe Douglas to make the trade. And you want to tell me about the 12 picks a year ago? Listen, look at his receivers. I mean, come on. Come on.
I don't disagree with you.
There's always reasons for this.
And by and large,
superstar.
I agree with everything you say because all of a sudden the Jets feel relevant even in spite of themselves. Like if anything went wrong with say defensive line, say you don't sign Quinnen Williams and it gets a little
there's no chance
murky.
that's not going to happen.
I agree, but let's just say for argument's sake it happens. You don't sign Quinnen Williams or Elijah Moore is upset because whatever circumstance could arise. If Aaron Rodgers is there, it calms all of that. It makes it kind of feel less significant. It doesn't feel terminal anymore. If something goes awry that used to have to be perfect in order for the Jets to be successful. I get that. But the only reservation I have is how much longer is Aaron Rodgers Aaron Rodgers? They all hit a wall. Now, I think we get enamored with the older quarterback because of previous success. I think we look at Tom Brady and we just assume that every really good elite Hall of Fame quarterback can play until they're 43 or 5 or whatever it is Tom Brady's going to play
until 45. Get me to 41.
I hear you.
That's it.
I hear you. But how many players have in the history of the league pushed into late 30s and 40s and been elite?
How many players won back-to-back MVPs at the age of 36 and 37? Or 37, 38?
Yeah, none.
The answer is none.
None.
Okay, so he's already defying some of the physical limitations.
I'm trying to think of how many guys have actually even won back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, well, I mean, Peyton's got 5 total, and Aaron has 4 back-to-back.
I don't know how many of those were back-to-back.
It's
but
an incredibly short list. It's a distinguished list here. Listen, I have to laugh at this. Like, the Jets are on the short list of biggest losers in sport. That encompasses every single league. Take the most dysfunctional NBA team. I don't know, the Kings, the Knicks. I mean, whoever. We know the teams, right? Take the most dysfunctional, rudderless, directionless baseball teams. The 2 or 3 teams. We know who they are. Take those teams in every sport, and I guarantee the Jets make that list if it's a top 10 list. So you want to tell me that you have this losing history, which appears almost terminal, okay? And you want to sit here and debate whether or not the Jets should go out and get Aaron Rodgers? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? He's too old. I don't want to hear it, honestly. Don't want to hear it. Because you had a guy, Joe Flacco, who's just about as old, who didn't even want to go into the game up in Buffalo, who was on your team this year and actually played important games. Now, listen, I'll grant you this. I will give you this. 6, 7, 8% diminishment. Nobody's sitting here saying he's 30 years old. I get that. Are you telling me that Aaron Rodgers can't walk to the line of scrimmage with the abundance of weapons that the Jets have and look at the defense and diagnose immediately what he needs to do, and bang, 60 yards, wide open. Oh, Elijah Moore,
look,
touchdown. Oh, there's a 70-yard bomb. Good job, whomever. Because there are years to get excited. There are years there's desperation. Just do anything. Knicks bringing Stevie Francis. I trade for Stephon Marbury. Oh, just help. Do anything. This is not one of those years. Everything that I'm saying right now is rooted in complete sensibility to be able to win. This is the move.
Look, I can't argue with you. I have an answer for you, by the way. Jim Brown did it early. Brett Favre did it back to back to back. He won the MVP. And Joe Montana did it once. And then Peyton Manning did it twice, 2 separate times. The Jets have all the talent in the world, BT. They have wide receivers. They have runners, depth at runners. Their offensive line is going to get healthy. We talked about this in the pre-meeting. AVT didn't play
superstar
half the year. And by the way, when he was playing, he played guard and tackle, and he bounced around. There was no continuity with the offensive line. So all those scared that Aaron Rodgers, I got Brett Favre in my head now, Aaron Rodgers is immobile at this age and can't move. That line is going to be so much better. Defensively, they're stout. They can make it easier on the offense by preventing scores from getting run up. This makes all the sense in the world as long as Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. That's the only concern that I have.
I mean, think about the other options. We're going to sit here for the 2023 season, right? And, roll the dice on Garoppolo that he doesn't get hurt. He gets hurt every single season. You're going to give up whatever it takes to get Derek Carr if they don't cut him, but then the money, and you don't even know if he can win. He's not going to win again. Listen, if Derek Carr's on the Jets, of course they'd be better. Of course I'd be excited and optimistic because of what they had last year and forever. But you go into a season with Aaron Rodgers, and you are looking up at nobody. You walk into Foxborough and you say, hey, Belichick, suck on these. That's what you say to Belichick. How's that taste? You like it? Yeah? Here's 40 for you. Because you're not going to fool me like you fooled Darnold on national TV and Zach Wilson every time you played him, because I know what you're thinking before you think it.
And even if you do fool them, there's going to be a response to it. It's not terminal to the game.
This is the simplest conversation that I've ever had with myself, which I know it's a little weird when you talk to yourself, but do you want him? Do I want him? I don't think I can embrace a situation where I don't have him. Meaning, now if he's with the Packers, that's different.
Now
if he goes somewhere else.
Now you need him.
You need him. He wants something different. You can feel it. Just listen to him talk to McAfee. He's talking about Zach Wilson, chapter and verse. He's talking about the Jets roster. He is not he might annoy us with certain things, all right? He's no dummy. First of all, there's really no quarterback that's dumb, all right? For him to go on that show and get 8, 9, 10 million views and impressions, whatever the hell the number is, you don't think that everything that he said was carefully crafted and in his mind laid out before he actually uttered the words to McAfee? Of course it was. He knows what he said. He knows what he wants. And he knows, just like the rest of the Jets, the rest of the NFL universe, that the Jets are right there. Joe Douglas, I know you listen to the show out there, guys. I know that for a fact. You got to get this guy. You must. That's it. I will take no disagreements today.
I'm not disagreeing.
I'm talking about from the calls.
Just providing clarity.
All right, 877-337-6666. John and Weehawken first up on the fan. Johnny boy, what's cooking?
Well, we're getting history revisited. Wow, the New York Jets are once again going to
All right, your phone stinks. I didn't like your tone either. Let's get it together, man. Bobby's in Pearl River. Bobby, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Morning, fellas.
All right.
Happening, Bobby?
Listen, big fan, lifelong Giants fan. From the outside looking in, Aaron Rodgers in New York would be awesome because he just doesn't give anything. He would fit in so perfectly in New York. I think he would be an awesome fit for the Jets. And for football fans, Aaron Rodgers in New York would be theater. It would be awesome.
Well, it would be wins. I don't see.
Yeah.
Here's Bobby. I don't care about theater. And by the way, you're not wrong. Theater means nothing to me. Wins matter at this point. Relevance, championship viability.
Outside looking in, though.
Yeah.
As a Giants fan, I want you guys to. I always want New York teams to win. And obviously, he would elevate the Jets if you say he wouldn't. You're off your rocker. But I just think he would be a great fit in New York. I think the Jets would. You're crazy not to do everything you can to get this guy on your team.
They're going to, Bobby. You could take that one to the bank. This is not conjuring up some ridiculous conversation for the sake of provoking calls. They are absolutely going after Aaron Rodgers.
It's almost like the easiest.
You can bank on that.
Easiest, heavy pursuit of Joe Douglas's life. Right? It's not even like you're going to get pushback. Who's pushing back on this?
No one.
Internally, externally. I mean, the only reason you would say is, well, it's going to cost us a lot of talent.
Good. Make some more talcum powder, Woody. Let's go. Crank out the products.
A lot of draft talent. Yeah, that's a lot of money coming off. Who cares?
Woody's got it.
Win at all costs.
Woody, you want to deliver something for us? All right. You talk about how you want to deliver something meaningful for the Jet fans. Do not let this escape your grasp.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity.
Let me ask you one question.
Sure.
Is there residue from Brett Favre doing the same thing? Because it felt amazing. I remember this. It felt amazing through the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then as an old player, he gets hurt, and the come down was heavy. It was hard. It just felt bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Residue in the mind of Woody, fans, or
Woody,
whomever.
Woody. Forget Woody. Forget anybody. I'm talking about Woody.
Just Woody.
Woody, because Woody has done this before.
He has.
So is there residue?
There might be, but you know what? It's so long ago that I believe that the residue has been I hope it's been replaced by motivation and embarrassment. That's what I hope's happened.
Yeah.
I agree. There's a
we've written this story before. Yeah, we've written this story before.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
I had hair. You were still playing.
That's right.
I mean, a lot of different things were going down at this point. So,
so it was right after I
right. You were out 1 year. Pardon me. There's no doubt. I understand that. I don't care. I don't care. When you're forget about Joe. Joe's obviously in the class by himself, the great Joe Namath. He's talking about Vinny, who I love, Chad, who I respect, Boomer, who I always respect, but came here too late and had nothing around him, and Favre. You're talking about constant ineptitude, constant hope, constant manipulation of a bad roster, constantly trying to piece it together. The roster is good. The situation is right. He wants out, and I think he wants the Jets. Make it happen. Make it happen.